wrestling card collectors, welcome to another edition of WTCtv, and I'm here today with Kevin Williams on our episode I like to call, well, we call it Collectors from Around the World. And Kevin, how are you tonight?
I'm very good, thank you. Tonight, it's
morning for you. Where are you at, actually, sir?
Flintshire, North Wales, which is the United Kingdom. We're not too far from Liverpool, so I'm Manchester for that, before we cause any arguments with football.
So, as you know, I like to do episodes here every once in a while where we talk to different collectors from around the world, kind of pick their brains, kind of find out, obviously where they're at, what they collect, how they collect, what their market's like, kind of thing. So, but the first thing I want to ask right away is I like to ask people who are into wrestling cards, you know about WTC, right?
Definitely, damn right. It's one of the best websites out there.
When did you first discover WTC?
About 3 years back, maybe a little longer. It's just a little go-to guide where you pick out information and, right, I need that card because, good little website to know.
It's, and now we're bringing it back because 3 years ago, it was kind of, dormant since 2014, 2015, somewhere in that time frame. But then we started doing these videos and people are like, oh, you're bringing the website up to date, bringing it back. Like, I guess we are now. And here we are a year later and, kicking some major ass here, I think, and really happy with the progress we're making. So I always appreciate anybody who's using the site. So in your area, well, first off, when did you start collecting? When did you start collecting like cards?
I'd say about 5 years back, I started picking up cards again, but from a young kid, I was always buying cards from the shop, from the stores, and I've always had wrestling cards with me. I think I've had it was 91, the blue WWF Classic Series. So I had a full set of them. Then I had a load of battered cards along the way. The yellow series, as you can see here, the Shawn Michaels, that series, which was 92.
So you had a lot of the Merlin release products, obviously, because that's your market. So
UK,
you mentioned that 91 Classic, that blue border, there's a US version and there's a a UK version.
That's it, yeah. I think there's 4 different cards in total. Is there? I believe so. There's 4 different cards. Variants.
Well, I've only known of the smaller, thinner ones of the 91 Classic. I don't know of any different languages.
No. I mean, with the US set, I think you've got Virgil. There's 4 different wrestlers in the American set to the UK set.
I think they're identical, to be honest with you. The checklists are identical.
Oh, is it?
They're identical. Right. The only difference in those cards, the design's the same, the checklist is the same, the card backs are the same. There's even no mention of Merlin on those cards. It still says Classic on them. They're just smaller. They're slightly smaller and they're thinner in cardstock.
Yeah. Wow.
And I have a full set.
Yeah. Cool set.
Well, I went one time talking to Paul from the Price Guide, and I even asked Chuckster, and neither one of them had the set. I go, wait, first off, I have something you guys don't have. That's amazing because you guys have everything. Yeah. So I had to kind of do some more homework on that, and sure enough, they're the exact same card sets. Wow. Someone mentioned there might be like an Italian version, a German version, but I think they get those confused with the other Merlin releases that were actual Merlin releases.
Yeah, the white border, which Correct. Is that one as we see on the screen. Yeah.
And each year they did one in 91, 93, 95, and those are each have different, German, Italian, and English, I think.
That's it.
So Merlin's all your stuff. I mean, what else did you collect?
I pick up a lot of the SmackDown cards later on. The Action Pact, which would be that was more of an American thing for me. I pick up the stickers. I got some of the Topps cards from 1987. Is it? Okay. Got a full set of that, and I'm always trying to pick up cards from that series. I think it's fantastic. Going on 89, that era WWF, 1990 WWF. I try and pick up the stickers too, for the albums. So I don't know if you remember the Black album. It was 1990. So I'm trying to get a full set loose, which is, some of them stickers are so hard to find.
Now I first stumbled across your YouTube channel, which is the World of Retro Wrestling, I think is what it is, right? It's tweet wrestling.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
it looks like you open packs of stickers.
Definitely stickers, cards, anything old school wrestling.
Are you more into stickers or more into cards, or is it
I'd
pretty much
say,
both?
um, oh, that's a tough one. Both, but I do love the cards. There's no better feeling than having a good card in your hand in top condition, I think. So
And when you get these stickers, do you keep them separate, or do you actually put them in the binder?
keep them separate. I
Okay.
keep them in like a shoebox for now because it's all in order, but I need a good binder to keep them.
Someday
So
I'll probably be hitting you up for images for that kind of stuff, because that's one of the things at WTC was
that's,
we archived some checklists for that stuff, but we didn't do a whole lot.
yeah,
Just whatever somebody provided us. But I'm really looking for a sticker expert, as it were. And then we're going to be needing those images at some point, sometime, because people need to see what they look like.
yeah. If I've got them, I'll help you out. No problem.
Absolutely. So even growing up, I mean, what was your market like growing up, as far as like, stores and card shows, as opposed to what it is now?
Well, back then wrestling was huge in the UK. It was absolutely something else. Obviously, we had SummerSlam '92, but it wasn't a case of like I've got a rare wrestling card and but it was people like, oh, I've got wrestling cards. Let's swap. Which ones do you need? And it's like it's always good fun. And going into the '90s, I say like '95, wrestling dipped everywhere. I think in Spain they even stopped showing it on TV there. Then coming back again, I say 97, 98. We didn't get the superstars cards. I don't ever remember seeing them. That's the one with the Rock rookie card that
Yeah,
everyone bangs
98
on.
Comic Images. Yeah.
Yeah, then Comic Images obviously come back with, I think they had Raw Deal and SmackDown cards, is it? And but but by that time, people my age were teenagers, were 15 and weren't that into cards. And if you were into cards, you're more of a Pokemon guy.
Yeah.
Because that like, spooked everything. It was huge everywhere, I believe.
Is
So
that still big there now? Pokemon still?
it's stupid. It's too big.
What about I hear a lot like soccer is really big too, as far as cards go too.
Yeah, if you get the right cards, you're okay. But again, America's the place for cards, definitely. The UK, we pick up cards, but it's not on the scale of America. It's nowhere near.
So do you have now, so today, do you have shops you can go to buy cards in your area, or do you have to buy them? Like, I heard that you can buy them like your local grocery store or something like that.
Yeah, every like corner shop sells cards, whichever you need. Like I've got a nephew, he's 12 now, and we had to pick up soccer stickers for the Euro competition that they had. And next minute he's buying, I think there was some Tops cards and match attacks and slam attacks, is it they
Slam
call it?
attacks, yeah.
That's it. And he showed me these chromium figures there, the chromium cards that he's got, and he's like, "You're gonna drop some of them off with me?" He's like, "They're mine." I'm keeping them.
They're mine. I'm keeping them.
They're very easy to find. You could literally every store you go in, they've got either soccer cards, wrestling cards, some Pokemon stickers, or something silly like that. So it's like very easy to come by.
So, do you guys have in your area? Do you have like card shows out here? We have a lot of different card shows. The big one out here is the National Sports Convention, but um, there's card. I mean, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, on the West Coast, and there's probably 3 or 4 different card shows held every month out here. It seems like.
Yeah, there's more of like an online appeal for that. We don't have card shows, but I think someone somewhere should take it on and go with it. You might get the odd like game event where you could pick up all retro games and what have you, but it's not out here yet.
For wrestling, then in 2019, you guys in that area had a very large convention called For the Love of Wrestling, and that brought a lot of vendors out there. Did you attend that year?
Definitely.
Did you find anybody carrying cards?
I didn't see many cards. I've seen a lot of programs, action figures, t-shirts. There's a few artists there, people selling books. They even have cake stores, you know.
Probably like replica belts and all the usual stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a great
That's
show.
strange.
I recommend it to everyone. For the
I'm
love of
curious
wrestling.
because I'm going to actually be there next year for the Love of Wrestling 2022. And I'm really looking forward to checking out the vendors and seeing if anybody's carrying wrestling cards, because since the pandemic hit, everybody kind of got into collectibles as a whole, but wrestling cards kind of took, rode that wave as well, has been riding that wave as well. Not to the extent of other major sports, but as we were talking about earlier off the air. But it's kind of risen a lot, and I'm curious to see if some of those vendors out in the UK market are going to start carrying some of that stuff out there for next year's show.
That's it. Well, there's a guy in the UK set up his own card and sticker website. I'll send you a link over for that. Mike, his name, and he's selling wrestling cards, wrestling stickers now. So maybe you could go to
World Wrestling Wide or something like that, or why?
Yeah, that's it.
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
You got it. He's a good guy, Mike, and he always sorts people out with a good deal. And if you got in touch, it's like, hey, Mike, could you find me a sticker, find me a card? He's like, you're first on the list. So maybe you can go to For the Love of Wrestling, and
That'd be great if you did.
Definitely.
And if people want to find his website, I did add it to the WTC links website. So if you want to go to WTC, wrestlingtradingcards.com, you can click on the links button, and his website is listed on there.
Nice to see.
But yeah, anywhere we can go and help direct people to find wrestling cards, we want them to go there. So, I mean, collecting wrestling cards. I mean, other than eBay, I guess. I mean, what other sources do you use to collect?
Talking to friends, basically. I must talk to about 10, 15 people in the UK who collect wrestling cards. So it's like, if you get this, and let me know. And it's a bit like the old tape traders from years back.
That's right.
Yeah, but eBay at the minute is the place to go. I would say that, and shooting out a tweet or Facebook, something like that.
Twitter seems to be as far as social media goes, Twitter seems to be like the place to go when it comes to the wrestling trading card community. And then I think people are kind of also moving into the Discord channel now that deals with strictly wrestling cards, which is always kind of cool to see that too. But yeah, it seems like you guys have like maybe a small circle of guys out there. I mean, you probably all know each other now because you all
it's an ever-growing circle, though, because 3 years back I was talking to a friend of mine, Owen, in Ireland, and it'll be like, wow, you collect wrestling cards and stickers too? And it's like, next minute, oh, I know a lad, Jack, and he'll help you out, and Mike, and there's a guy, Tagsy, with the HWO, he messaged me for cards the other day, and it's like, we're always helping each other. And as I say, 3 years back, there's 2 people that I knew. Now there's 25 probably, and it's like,
that's more good.
And more people. Yeah. It's only going to go one way, and that is up.
You guys ever do bulk orders together? Like, hey, we're going to go and just like one guy's going to make the order for everything. It's like that. You all pitch in for the shipping costs like that and do,
yeah, that's,
I mean, I understand, from what I understand, I do these episodes from different collectors from around the world. The number one complaint obviously is shipping costs. It kind of deters people. Like, box prices have gone up. People complain about it here, that box prices have gone up. And that's like, God, now I'm paying more for the box, and then shipping rates have gone up. And now I'm paying I'm paying double what you guys are paying for in the States just to get a box of tops or, whatever else they're trying to get out here. Yeah. Maybe you guys all kind of pull together and just say, hey, are we all interested in getting a box? And we'll all kind of chip in for the shipping. And I don't know, just it's some way to.
Yeah, Jack's the guy for that normally. It's like, oh, what did he pick up? I think he's trying to get me an Action Pack Series 2. Oh, nice. So I'm like, okay, because that's on my hit list next. And it's like, I'm talking to a guy in America. So he's got like 3 sets. It's like, me, Jack, he knows someone else. And it's like, do you fancy coming in with us? We'll sort the postage out. And I was like, damn right. And you avoid eBay fees. And so it's, in a way, you get it cheaper.
So in your country, you got a lot. Slam Attacks is very popular. Yeah. From my understanding. And they've recently started introducing things like autographs and memorabilia type stuff in that product, when it was strictly just a gaming type of thing when it first came out. Yeah. Did you collect it when it was a gaming thing, or have you collected it now? Are you more interested in it because it has autographs?
It's I'm more interested now because it would have autographs, but I try and pick out the legends. So I'd go for like your Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, rather than pick everyone up, because to me it just takes up the whole house, and it's like, how much more of this stuff do I need? And it's a lot of it, no offense, but I don't need something like a Dolph Ziggler card or the Miz. And they're brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but
No
I'm an
disrespect to those collectors.
no. I'm just an old school guy, and I love the legends of the game, if you like. So
Is there anything that what trading card, wrestling card do you have in your possession that's your
the
prize?
prize, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a tough one. You know what? I've got 1 minute. A few Stone Cold rookies from the WCW sticker. The
Okay. What year are
Euro.
those?
I think it's 91, 92. I mean,
Nice.
I love Stone Cold, very good. It may not be the rarest of wrestling cards out there, but I just love that card.
That's a great classic card, Merlin card. Love it.
Oh, I've got obviously about 3 or 4 of the blue version with the classics, but there's just something that says to me about that. The era 91, 92, just love The Undertaker. And the mad thing is, you could pick that up for like $20 in the UK. Why? It's like the Michael Jordan of wrestling. It's like you're never going to get another Undertaker.
No,
Never.
no.
No.
Is there anything that you're searching for right now that you would love to have?
Yes, a Sting NWA rookie card, which isn't that rare, I believe, because I'm meeting Sting, I think November time.
Okay.
He's over at Wales Comic Con.
Yep. That's Jamie's show. Yep. Yep.
That's it.
Are you so you're talking about the 88 Wonderama or you want the 87 test run?
It'll have to be the 88, I think,
Yeah.
because finding an 87, that's going to be, yeah.
So what I mean, if it's that common, why aren't you pulling the trigger on that one?
It's just one of them. It's like, oh, I'm going to get this. The next one, oh, they're different. I'm going to buy these cards instead. So I will get it. I will pick it up. I've had it on my watch list for like 3 weeks on auction. Oh, I forgot to bid. And it's like, there was, what was it? Merlin classic sticker packets yesterday. So for that series, I think there was 50 packets in Europe, and they sold for something like $200 or $300 or something. I forgot to bid. I should have put an early bid in, so I will pick it up. It's coming my way.
So is that Sting rookie, as people like to call it, is that going to be is that your holy grail card?
Oh no,
That's what I'm looking for. What is your holy grail card you want to have?
That's a hard one. I'd love, obviously, a Hogan All Stars. That would be something special, but I don't know, it's escaping me at the minute. I've got a few, The Rock, the Trivial Games, that one, that's a nice one. Yeah, I like that one. But as to picking cards up, I don't know, I'm more of a set guy. I like to complete sets. I'm a completer. So,
which is funny because you just said, like, for like come Slam Attacks, I'm not interested in Dolph Ziggler or the Miz. Yeah. I only go for the legends.
Yeah. But yeah, as I say, I don't really collect the match attacks as such, but I just pick out of them. Anything old school, WWF, it's got to be a complete set, or WCW for that.
That's normally what I ask pretty much everybody when I do these things. These sets of questions. I'm kind of going to go off the rail a little bit now, and that is just I like to talk about your YouTube channel. I mean, I want anybody who watches this to make sure they go over and check out your stuff and subscribe. And so before we leave, let everybody know where you can find you. But you do a mix of a lot of different things on there. What do you find that your viewers find most appealing? What you do?
That I'm a UK collector, and I find some unusual things, and that there is a source out there to watch, because there's not many people from the UK that would open up retro wrestling cards and post it to Twitter or post about the Hasbro wrestling figure line, which is the best toy line ever to exist. And we've got Cella Toys out there, which is making figures too. So I like to support them, which is nice. Just the source, just take a look. If you're interested, get in touch. With the YouTube channel, it's helped me complete many sticker albums. That's another avenue to go to, because there's a guy once, I needed some stickers, I think, for the 94 book, and he sent me something like 20 out. So how much do you want? He goes, oh, you can have them. It's for your book.
Isn't that amazing? We've talked about this before in some other episodes. I do a joint podcast with Zan Morning. We do Worlds Collide, and we've talked about a lot where the wrestling card community seems to be a much more giving community than other communities, it seems like.
I'm right. damn right, it's good. A lot of people help each other.
You find that same thing? You experience that same thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because people just like out of nowhere just start sending like, hey, you're a big fan of this person. Obviously people know I'm a Kurt Angle guy, so they go like, hey, I got this card. You can take it. So I'm like, oh, dude, come on, man, don't just pay it forward. I
Yeah,
thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really do. So
that's good. Yeah,
it's just, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in other communities, so I really don't know. Maybe
yeah,
Raw Deal, which is still wrestling related though, but
that's it.
uh,
But I'm finding now there's a lot of auctions elsewhere. So in the figure collecting community, it's like, oh, you have to auction certain figures off, or even certain merchandise, and it's like I don't really want to attend every auction or be involved with every auction. I just want the card, or
yeah.
so it's like different again.
So you have your stores. You don't really have card shows out there. Um, do they do yard sales? Is that a thing in the UK? Yard sales,
Yeah,
garage sales?
yeah. Well, it's called a car boot sale.
A
So
car
car boot sale.
car boot sale. Gotcha.
I love car boot sales.
Eh,
Honestly,
my aunt out in California, we like to call it, and my wife, we like to call it junkin.
yeah,
So we go
yeah,
out and haven't done it in a while, but I'm gonna be picking that up again, I think, real soon here, because I'm starting to see more people on social media post like, "Hey, I picked this up at the local flea market or the local like, out here we have Goodwill. It's like, or I found my local yard sale. I'm like, I gotta start hitting those yard sales again, man.
that's it. Well, I went. This is about 3 weeks back with my nephew, and as I say, he's 12, and he wanted football boots. It's like, oh, great. I'm not paying however much because he's not really into football, but if he can find a cheapo pair, then great. So he's there looking at these football boots because with a car boot sales, they'll have like 100 cars stacked up with a boot open, and you have a rummage through and see what you find.
Sure.
Then there's a TV show in the UK called Question of Sport, and it's quite a popular thing on the BBC. But in the late 80s, they introduced this board game, and inside there's sports cards. You got Mike Tyson, and there's like a card, this Mike Tyson card, which everyone goes crazy about, sort of thing. And there's loads of sports cards. I seen this Question of Sport game, and I just froze. I was like, "How much is your game?" It's like that, like £3, which is $5 to it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
I'll have that. Thank
You're
you.
like, would you take four?
Yeah, I felt doing that. I was just like, here you go.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's always great when you have a find like that.
I tell you, and this is going back 2004. There was a guy, Rob, that always used to attend these car boot sales, the local ones, and he's after a PlayStation 1 game. I think it's called Time Cop. And
Okay.
the internet was new, and he couldn't really get hold of this game. So he's like, could you get hold of this game for me? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, if I see any wrestling stuff, I'll look out for you. I was like, okay. So I got him this game. It was £20, $30, whatever you like. And he pays me up. He's like, come to my boot of the car. It's like, right, okay. Pulls out this folder, like, well, thick like that, wrestling cards. Honestly, how much? £10. I was like, okay.
Okay.
It has like the WCW 92 series, the SummerSlam, the yellow series, as you can see, the black series, all complete. Then it went on to the WCW 98 series with the Hogan,
Yeah.
Hollywood Hogan rookie,
Hmm.
the white border set. and,
Oh yeah.
I, and that stayed in my cupboard for, I don't know, 15 years. And I was like, rummaging through, I need one or two cards here. And it's like, I need to start buying cards again. So,
How big would you think your collection is? I mean, it
oh,
must be growing quite a bit.
well, I have every single Hasbro wrestling figure loose and on card. I've got some error cards with that. A lot of signed figures. Card wise, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. I say I'm about 3 or 4 sets short of completing everything WWF, which is
Okay.
standard, which is quite an achievement. Probably need is the ECW set. That is going to be hard to pick up.
Which one?
Well, this is it. I don't have any, so I imagine there's a couple of them as a.
Well, there's the one that came out in the figures. Those came out in
Yeah,
the Bash or the Brawlers or something like that series. There's one had stickers and one had, and they're oval cut, like tops are,
yeah.
and then they had a trading card set. Then there's the one from '97 that was released in Japan.
Well, it'll be the 97,
Yeah,
not the yeah, the
that's a really
standard.
tough card to set to come by.
Yeah,
And then that's pretty much it as far as official ECW, card sets that came out.
yeah.
Are you going to be getting the AEW card sets? Are you into AEW?
Yes, yes, very good AEW at the minute. Very good.
How
People, they're going to be chasing it for like rookie cards. What? But no, it's not the point. It's like AEW got some fantastic wrestlers there at the minute. I'm sure they'll do a great job of that line. So
Yeah, I don't know when this actual episode will air, but as we're recording this now, I just put up a preliminary checklist of the set yesterday
wow,
on WTC.
yeah,
So I'm hoping by, it's just preliminary. Obviously, it'll grow as we start knowing more information about it and get more of a breakdown.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been this excited about buying a wrestling card set and forever. And
absolutely.
just one from an investment standpoint, two to flip for stuff while it's hot as well. I'll probably keep a box, maybe two, just tucked away. And then, anybody who needs to finish sets or do bait, I'll be happy to sell that stuff. And I'm going to be opening up a store here in Phoenix, a wrestling store out here in Phoenix.
Wow.
So I'm hoping to have a few sets put aside to have that for my store. And, but the buzz here in the States for this product is something I've, when Paul from the Price Guide and Chuckster and I talked about, we've never seen an anticipation level like this for a wrestling card set ever.
Wow,
It's just,
really, that's impressive coming from the States when you think about how big WF was in its day and WCW even. So
sure. I mean, even when, during the Monday Night Wars and you had, Top throwing out those WCW sets and, oh, it has on-card autographs. That was all fine and good then. Now, of course, it's a huge, huge thing to
yeah,
try and get those collections. And then, Comic Images had the WWF license and putting out their cards. And,
yeah,
yeah, there was a little bit of a buzz for it. Nothing like it is now.
oh,
AEW is on a whole different level.
it's brilliant. Did you see the pay-per-view the other week? Is it all out?
Don't watch it. I don't really watch any wrestling. I
No.
hate,
Yeah,
I
I
really
get
don't.
how you're doing for.
I,
I'm like you because I love the old school stuff, but I had to watch it. I was like, this fetches me back, and it's like it gives you that little buzz where it's like wrestling's good again. I like to watch wrestling again.
and I feel like I don't even feel, I know that I'm missing something special happening right now.
Yeah,
But that's for me, it's something I had to do when I did years ago. I cut the cable as it was, and I don't have any regular television. I haven't had it for years. So I have Netflix and Hulu and things like that. I'm sure I can watch them the next day. But
yeah,
I just I kind of treat it like most of my sports. I follow all sports and I treat it
yeah,
like, Sports Center. I just go online and kind of check
yeah,
out the highlights,
yeah.
If I
I
want to
tell you
watch a
what,
match, I'll watch it.
I did pick up a couple of sets of the NWA Power Series One.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I love watching NWA Power. Then they moved it from YouTube. I'm like, that's a silly move. I could plug in for 30 minutes a week, watch some good old school wrestling, and that's it. But things with Raw, no way. It's just
Yeah. And, some people who are watching it, I think are mostly kids, which is their demographic really, is the kids. And then you get the Chucksters of the world who have been watching it for so long, it just becomes part of like, that's just my Monday night ritual now. And I just, even though I don't pay attention to it like I used to, it's in the background as noise while I'm doing other
yeah.
stuff.
I know a lot of writers who write about wrestling, and it's like it's just on the background. If there's anything for me to write about, I'll pick it out, and it's like fair enough.
Yeah. And I just get any highlights that happen, anything special that goes on. I can go to Twitter and just see some highlights.
Yeah, like
Catch it
30
all.
second clip of like
Yeah.
Jay Snake's return, like a few years back. Yes, come
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
I can watch it. I can watch 2 minutes of a 3 hour episode show. That's all I need to watch.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah, different.
uh, well, we're going to wrap it up here. It's like that. But I think that people, where can they find you? Like, where can everybody find you at?
Tweet Wrestling on Twitter, that is, of course. Tweet Wrestling, the world of retro wrestling on YouTube. And I do have an Instagram, which is Tweet Wrestling too. Just hit me a message. Love talking about wrestling cards, wrestling figures. And that's everything, really.
And then hopefully help this guy find some of those stickers and some of the cards looking for. Someone get this guy an 88 Sting, would you? Just get him one for crying out loud.
Yeah, come on, help me out, boys
Yeah.
and girls.
If you need just a single, I've got a bunch of singles like that. I'll see if I can dig one up in storage one of these days and send it your way. But I've got well, yeah, I've got a ton of stuff in there. Just oddball things, not all wrestling. Someone hit me up the other day saying, "Is it all just wrestling in your storage?" And I was like, "No, there's a lot of non-sport. I have some sports. I have, who knows? I mean, I've got wrist tape that RVD used to wear in his matches. I have."
What a wrestler, RVD! Wow.
Just I mean, yeah. I could talk about that, a whole different topic.
Yes, that's it. That's for another video. Definitely.
That's for another videos like that. Well, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, anything else you got to add? I mean, as far as
that's about it, really. As I say, I love the wrestlers. I've wrestling figures. That's my book that I had published.
Well, you got a book, for crying out loud. You got to let's promote that.
There you go. Wrestling action figures of the early 1990s. So a little bit inside. It's all the Hasbro era. What I've collected. I love. You can see there. This one of some of the era cards that I have. I was thinking, do I get the Undertaker Bret Hart figure signed, or would it destroy it? I don't know. Be nice. So that's it.
Great. Where can people pick that up on your website? Do you have a website for that?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. You'll see it on my Twitter feed, or just chuck it in Amazon, and it'll be on there too. So
that's awesome.
The Undertaker's had a copy of the book, which is Jake Snake Roberts, quite a few other guys, Sergeant Slaughter, Davey Boy Smith Jr. So, Matt Cardona, of course, Brian Myers, massive figure collectors.
Yeah,
and that's it. I'd like to say a big shout out to the Hasbro World Order 2, HWO. Sure they'll be watching over here in the UK. Massive wrestling fans, so hello guys.
Those guys do cards at all, or just strictly figures?
They're getting into cards. I'm slowly turning the heads.
I like to hear that, man. Get them all to turn over to cards.
I know TTD Wrestling. He makes some T-shirts for Matt Cardona. He had his very own trading card.
Nice.
I'll have to show you a picture, and it's they're all super guys. You know, same age, same idea. Love the wrestling, so we
That's
talk
awesome.
about it. Yeah. So
great.
And the shout out. Otherwise, I get told off.
Do all the shout outs you want, sir. For WTC, you guys can find everything you need to know on WrestlingTradingCards.com. All the social media links are there at the bottom of every single page. Follow it. Go out, give us a like. Subscribe to this channel. Like this episode. Talk about it. Comment. Share. Suggest. If you are from somewhere on this planet and would like to talk about your collection, how you collect, what your market's like, when you start collecting, hit me up, let me know. We can try and schedule it. It's like always difficult to do these international ones, man, because the time difference, and been trying to get this guy from France to get on, but we could never get our times to sync up. So I do appreciate you, sir, for making the time. I know it's really early your time, getting started. Yeah, I think that's about, we pretty much got it all wrapped up here, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. I love it. I can't wait to watch more of your shows on YouTube.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And with that, I guess we could say we are out.